United States Secret Service. That's pretty good. Now we know what he really is.
Yeah,
around
no
here,
secret.
huh? There's little secrets around here. Okay, against proposal. Okay, we have 2 against it on item number 2. Okay. All right. We're on the air. I can see the light is on. This is Public Works Committee, and today is the 2nd of July, 2008, and I'm Councilman Rosendahl, Chair, and we're just about expecting Richard Alarcon to enter the room. Okay. Request from Councilmember Jan Perry to continue it for 2 weeks. So I just want to tell the folks at item number 2 that I'll respect her and continue it for 2 weeks. Unless you would still like to come up and explain why you're against it. For the record, we could do that too.
Is that Lebanon's vacation of Lebanon Alley?
Yes, it is.
I'm here in favor of the petition, but the continuance for 2 weeks won't be sufficient. We still have some things that we have to do for presentation.
So you want more than 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's okay. Sir Chadad, Bureau of Engineering. I think Councilmember
Okay,
Perry.
let's hold the whole thing in. Why don't you say, Adam, item number
Why
2?
don't I, read the thing here. Okay, item number 2 is a city engineer report relative to the vacation of Lebanon Street from Venice Boulevard to approximately 165 feet southwesterly thereof, vacation E 1400985.
Okay, please.
Sir Chadad, Bureau of Engineering. We met with Councilmember Perry's office, and 2 weeks, if it's not enough, she'll probably be very acceptable to continue it longer. So there's not necessarily just 2 weeks if you need more time. I believe it was at the applicant's request, actually, to continue it in the first place. So if the applicant wants to continue it further, it should be all right.
Okay, why don't you come up, applicant, say your comments, and then the 2 people against can say their comments, just because she schlepped down here, okay?
You want me to do it?
Yeah,
now?
go ahead.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, right now, I'm prepared to
Tell
say
us your name.
Richard K.I.M.
Please have a seat, Richard.
Counsel for Toyota Central, and they're seeking to have vacated approximately 166 square feet of the northern end of Lebanon Alley. We are planning on putting up a new facility, and it's going to cost in excess of $33 million. We don't have all the architectural plans finished at the present time, and we wanted to have a complete presentation so the board would see exactly what we're planning on doing with the property and why we need that portion of Lebanon Street.
Very good, I appreciate you saying that, and could we ask both Glenn Glenn, come on up, and Fred, come on up too.
Most of us.
Yeah, sure. We got 3 mics, 3 chairs. Okay, we'll start with you, Glenn. You can tell us your position on this.
Sure.
And give us your name for the record.
My name is Glenn Potvin. I'm Administrative Services Manager for Pro Courier Incorporated. We are a tenant on site at 1706 South Figueroa and would be on the same block as Toyota and would be affected by the vacated property. Also, the owners of our property were unable to be here. One of them was traveling, the other one is incapable of getting out of bed at the moment due to surgery, and asked us to speak on their behalf as well. And that is Anderson and Swanson. We're a company of about 300 plus employees in Southern California. That is also our corporate office on site. We've submitted a statement for the record as well, which should be on file. We have approximately 200 of our employees are drivers who enter and exit from Lebanon Street. Figueroa is just too busy, and there's absolutely no parking after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not possible to load and unload from that location. We service all the major businesses downtown. If there's a name on a major building down here, those are our customers. The banks, all the major attorney firms. Everything is dependent on timing and being able to enter and exit our facility rapidly. And without that street being open to Venice, we have no way to egress into an east-west area. The other end of the street of Lebanon butts up against 18th Street, which is one-way, leads directly to the 10 freeway east, and that gets congested frequently throughout the day. It's very slow to enter from that side. It would be impossible to exit from that side. Now, the 200 employees plus that are constantly entering and exiting our facility have to come in at least twice a day, some of them 4 times a day. That does not include messengers that are doing on-demand services. Just our routed people alone are in and out of there twice a day. So there's a great deal of traffic there, and it's the only way we can operate from that facility is from Lebanon Street. We would have complete gridlock if that was shut off.
Thank you, and just stay sitting there. Sir, your name for the record.
My name is.
Grab the mic.
I'm sorry. My name is Fred Yadegar. I'm landlord 1721 South Flower. As Mr. Glenn explained about the street of Figueroa Flower after 3 o'clock is very difficult. We cannot park there. Plus, this is Flower Street one way, 18th Street one way. The best from Lebanon Street, myself, my employee plus my tenant, RPM, they use it alternative road up north south from Lebanon Street. And beside of about my tenant, they noticing me if one day they close that one, they wanted to vacate my office, my building. And already they told and they sent opposition letter RPM last week. And besides of that, the most important than transportation about this street regarding from the emergency, fire, and police activity. As you know that the downtown LA, they will going the more project, Staples Center, Lakers game, they close Figueroa Street, or Marathon Cancer Society, they close. Always, I use it personally. When I want to come to my office, I use it from Venice, Lebanon Street to come back of my building. And plus, most important thing for fire and emergency 911. If somebody comes, something it happened, they block it when Figueroa is closed or Flower is one way. And all respect I have with the owner of the Toyota, he's a very good businessman and I respect them. This is not only for their business. This street, before I bought the building, they designed it for the property. This is not reasonable, and I don't believe anybody support it. As you see, your engineering department denied. When I talked to the fire department, and unfortunately, I talked to the 3 departments, they told me they don't receive the letter.
Okay,
They
all
didn't know
right. Good
what's
enough,
going on.
Good
there.
enough. Mr. Alarcon has joined us. We do have a quorum of the committee. Thank you, Richard, for coming. Item number 2 is what we're talking about. The council office has requested we continue this item. The fellow proposing the closure also wants time to continue the item. But the 2 constituents who are speaking just now, both are very much against this being granted at all. But the whole item will be continued and brought before a committee at a later date. Mr. Alarcon can ask any questions he wants of any of you at this point before we move forward on the issue.
No, continue. I agree, we should continue.
Okay, item will be continued.
I'm sorry
Please, go ahead.
interrupting
Go
you.
ahead.
For the next time, I would like from your committee announce fire department, police department, and Caltrans, all of them represented be here. Because I called 2-3 of them, they told me they never get any notice.
Okay, let me ask procedurally, Roz, explain this, how this goes.
Bureau of Engineering, Sir Haddad. Basically, this item was requested to be continued. So what's going to happen is it just does nothing happens, actually. There's neither a denial or approval for this vacation. So it's up to another committee hearing before a decision is made. So you're okay with it being continued?
Yeah, but let me ask you this, two
Oh,
questions.
sorry.
If we don't have support from people who also have
Oh,
access to the
yes.
alley, doesn't that make that a moot issue?
No, it's true. Conditions, part of the vacation includes conditions. Those conditions mean that adjacent property owners, such as yourself, have to give consent to giving this vacation, okay, if it gets approved. But we're recommending denial on this certain vacation. So first it has to be overturned, our report, and then if it does get approved, then it requires conditions of adjacent property owners gaining consent.
Okay, hold on, be quiet. Come on up and explain what you were just going to say. No, our city fellow. And state your name for the record.
Edmund Yu from Public Works Engineering. That's correct. That right now, Bureau of Engineering is recommending for the denial of this project,
Yeah.
but the committee and the City Council is the actual decision maker.
Yeah.
So depending on what you would like to do, and you may overturn our recommendation, or you can go along. And normally, if you say later on want to overturn our recommendation, then you can instruct us to prepare a set of conditions that normally would go along with an approval for this, and we will identify conditions.
And when you identify the conditions, what about the two property owners who are vehemently against it? Can they still be vehemently against it and we could still approve it
Yes, that's correct. Yeah,
with certain conditions?
with conditions. Yes.
And would the conditions take into consideration the other constituents' concerns?
In this case, they are not really. They would be impacted by this vacation, so the city can impose conditions, say requiring the consent before we can finalize the vacation. So that is something that the city can impose if we want to.
So bottom line, you're basically telling the gentleman sitting here in the middle of the table that with your rejection of it, we could conceivably overcome that, but we could only overcome that with conditions that met certain obligations that are as part of the process.
That's correct.
Okay, so.
What type of
Well, you'll have to have a conversation with him offline here, okay? There's two suggestions I have for you. Suggestion one is see if you can get the neighbors and you to grin and love one another and go forward. Can't do that, then you have to get with him and see what conditions he would be suggesting and see if you can live with them. But at the moment, we're taking no action as a committee, but for the public record, we've just had a good discussion on it. We will continue this item until you tell me, Sergio, that it's back on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay? And we'll leave it flexible. We won't even say 2 weeks because that might require more time. But I also want to take that man's suggestion that if in fact, for some reason, it is to be substantive and potentially an overturned position from what's being recommended by Bureau of Engineering, we would want to have some of the other groups, the fire department and like you said, the other groups, to be part of the record. Okay? All right? Thank you all. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was item number 2. Now, Mr. Alarcon is going to be back in the room in a second. Let's start off with item number 1.
Item number 1, city engineer report relative to the vacation of Ascot Avenue from the alley southerly of 58th Street to its southerly terminus, vacation E1401024.
I would like to hear from the Bureau of Engineering on this, but I will read to the record. Come on up, what Ms. Perry has said in her letter to the committee dated today, July 2nd. Regarding item number 1, please oppose the recommendations from the Bureau of Engineering and the Department of Transportation regarding the vacation of Ascot Avenue from the alley southerly of 58th Street to its southerly terminus. I would like to request that the alley vacation be allowed, and I understand that the Bureau of Engineering and the Department of Transportation oppose the vacation because they believe Ascot could serve as a connector street off of Slauson Avenue. However, after representing Council District 9 for several years and having multiple conversations with the railroad company to abandon their track that runs east-west on Slauson, I am sure the tracks will never leave, and therefore there will not be an opportunity for Ascot to serve as a connector street. As Ascot is presently configured, it dead-ends the tracks on Slauson and provides a corner-like refuge for illegal dumping. Please support this vacation in order to improve the public health and safety in the neighborhood. So says Councilwoman Jan Perry.
Edmund Yu from Public Works Engineering. Again, the committee and the city council is the actual decision maker. So if you want to overturn the recommendation from Bureau of Engineering, definitely you can do that. And if you want to, if that's the case, you should direct Bureau of Engineering to prepare the necessary recommendations and findings and conditions to support a conditional approval for this vacation. That would be my recommendation.
Do you want to comment on that?
Sergio Deb, Bureau of Engineering. I think Edmund hit out all the marks, so that's exactly what we said.
Well, we're just going to hold it at the desk until Mr. Alarcon comes back. But thank you for sharing that. I might have to ask you to do that again. Okay. Item number 3.
Item number 3, city engineer report relative to the vacation of the alley northwesterly of Grand Avenue between Adams Boulevard and 23rd Street. Reapplication, vacation E1400822. This reflects a correction from the agenda, which read E1401093.
And as Ms. Perry says for item number 3, that I support the vacation request from the Los Angeles Unified School District and ask that it be allowed to proceed through the process. Is there anybody here to speak against this? We have no cards filled out. Could we just see behind the door if he's ready to come in? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so we're just going to wait a minute or two for Richard to come back to deal with that item as well. I know we have item number 6, folks, here. I can see that. The naming an intersection, the Reverend Dr. Solomon Drake Square. Did we find him?
But you can go ahead and vote without him. You can just move the items.
Okay, we will move those items, but when he comes in, we'll ask him for concurrence on that so that we have that to vote. So you're going to, Adam, you're going to hold, as soon as he comes back, we're going to ask him about item number 1 and item number 3, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so just hold that. And we're just going to wait on 4 for a minute. If we could go to item number 6.
Item number 6. Motion, Parks Perry, relative to naming the intersection at 53rd Street and Denker Avenue, Reverend Dr. Solomon Drake Square.
We have any cards on that? Folks, is anybody here for item number 6? Well, we'll be enthusiastic about it, but we'll wait for Richard to come back to make that unanimous from the committee. Okay, we'll just throw it at him. So we're going to say for Richard 1, 3, 6. Number 4. Vacation in CD8.
Number 4, city engineer report relative to the vacation of Van Ness Avenue and Cimarron Street, northerly of Rodeo Road. Vacation E1401015.
Okay. Again, I'll move this forward, again, pending him to come in, but give us a quick on the record.
Sergio Dad, Bureau of Engineering. Actually, I think we have Council District 8 representatives here
Okay.
that might want to
Terrific.
talk on this item, or
Go for it.
we can wait later. This for number 4?
You both fill out cards?
No, we'll fill out cards at the end.
great. Go ahead.
David Roberts, Economic Development Deputy for Councilmember Parks, and
Dennis Rodriguez, Housing Deputy for Councilman Parks.
I think we're actually going to ask for this item to be continued. We have some constituents who are looking to vacate the alley adjacent to some of their businesses. It's a big nuisance problem with a lot of illegal dumping, homeless activity, drug prostitution activity. Unfortunately, it just came to our attention literally about a day or two ago that there's a large sewer project scheduled along Van Ness Avenue, and they're looking to utilize a portion of this street vacation, or excuse me, this alley vacation for a sewer scrubber. So we want to work with staff and the constituents to come up with an amicable resolution and would ask for a continuance. I think we do have some members, or some community members who actually initiated the street vacation process who'd like to discuss their concerns, and they actually have some nice visual presentations. So if you wouldn't mind.
Sure, you happy to
Okay.
do that. Do you want to make any further comment?
You know, I think David kind of touched on most of the relevant points.
Great, and folks, come on up. Did you fill out some cards? Make sure you do when you come up here. For the record, we need to have you fill out the cards.
Don't worry about it. He filled it out afterwards.
Okay. Sir.
Okay, my name is William Smith, and
Hello,
I'm
William.
representing Smith's Cleaners.
Great.
And my concern is the work that's being done around my business. And I've been there for 1980. And so the problem is now it's affecting my income to my business because you have the MTA coming in the back with the rail system. And then we have, it's cutting down on my parking for my customer. The people that do business with me are now complaining to me. They are finding us other places to go because of the congestions that's right there on that corner. And so we don't need any more disturbance.
So you would be against this closure to begin with?
Yes, I would.
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, for the record, please hand her the mic.
Yes, I think you sort of, he is not against the closure, he is for the closure because his business is adversely affected by if we do not get the vacation of Cimarron, okay? Okay, now, he has been in the neighborhood 30 years, I've been in the neighborhood over 35 years, and the area has progressively gotten worse. Now, at Cimarron and Van Ness, me and my family own the property, okay? There are little cul-de-sacs. They dead end into the train, the Expo rail line. Right now, they have a fence barrier there. And it does have some of the, I would say the, illicit activities. But we still have dumping. It's conducive to prostitution, to drug activities, as my husband will show you the pictures of the, if you could show him some of the pictures. This is every night. We're definitely cleaning off graffiti, picking up drug paraphernalia, running people away. We have illegal dumping, and the dumping, as you can see, the cars, just illegal dumping, and it takes the city at least a week to get out there to clean them up. We have no street cleaning there. My husband hoses it down, waters it every day, because there's not enough room on this little area. We're asking for access to the vacation area. And so we do feel legitimately we could help the city to have this area vacated. Plus, it'll give him more parking. He's right there at the corner. Now they're telling us, after all of this time, I've never seen a notice that they're putting a sewer sweeper project there. I mean, for me to be in the community this long and not to be informed of this except yesterday, it's amazing. And I would definitely, there are other areas I can suggest where they could put that sewer sweeper, because across the street from us, there's residential areas. Next to Cimarron, it's a little park where I used to go with my children when they were little, and older people go all the time just to sit and meditate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Very
Who
good.
wants a sewer
Very
sweeper
good.
there?
Appreciate you saying that, and don't forget, when you're all finished, to sit down with Mr. Parks' people who are very wanting to have conversations. Sir, you're up.
Yes, sir.
Your
How
name
are
for
you
the
doing?
record.
My name is Telly Roberts Sr., and of course, we're here to just address these atrocities. This shows you how that street is totally blocked with the cars, and I mean, we have no control, so we can't tell people anything, you know.
Right on.
And if you try to just address some of them, I've been threatened, and so I don't want to risk my life. I just seek shelter and hide and wait until the just LAPD comes. But this is our problem here, and I don't see any reason for it, because right now we don't have any room to park. Mr. Smith here, I just feel sorry for him, frankly, because now since they've taken their property, which they have, just every right to, but I mean, we should be able to, have a portion of it to park the vehicles.
Fair enough, sir. I appreciate that too. And sir, you're up.
Okay.
My name is Shafin Roberts, for the record. And there's not a lot left to be said. I mean, basically, these points have been well articulated by my parents and Mr. Smith. Actually, what I'd hope to do today is, I guess, say yes to what they're giving us on Van Ness.
Okay.
And then, I guess, hold over with this discussion for Cimarron, because there's this scrubber thing involved, and we need to talk about that. I know that they won't access or allow us that vacation without first finding a resolution for the scrubber issue. So
Okay,
that's
very
all
good.
I'd like to say.
Thank you, all of you, for coming in and being here in front of us. Mr. Alarcon, that was item number 8, and both CD8's staffers have suggested we continue it, and they want to work with community. Community has some real issues, so with your support, we will continue item number 4.
Okay.
And we've done also item number 2 to continued. Adam, on item number 1, we want Mr. Alarcon to support us in the approval, correct?
Okay. For the record, on item number 1, then, the city engineer is directed to then submit a list of 5 of the findings for the approval of this specified vacation.
On item number 1.
On item number 1, Edmund Yu from Bureau of Engineering stated earlier that we're going to go with a recommendation from Council District Perry's office, Council District 9, and we deny the recommendation for the vacation, but we wanted to approve it as Council Member Perry requested. So,
Councilwoman Perry, regarding item number 1, please oppose the recommendation, she says, of the Bureau of Engineering and the Department of Transportation regarding the vacation of Ascot Avenue from the alley southerly of 58th Street to its southerly terminus. I would like to request that the alley vacation be allowed, and I understand that the Bureau of Engineering and Department of Transportation oppose this vacation because they believe Ascot could serve as a connector street off of Slauson Avenue. However, after representing District 9 for several years, I have multiple conversations with the railroad company, the abandoned track that run east. I am sure the tracks will never leave, and therefore there will not be an opportunity for Ascot to serve as a connector street. As Ascot is presently configured, it dead ends the track at Slauson and provides a corner-like refuge for illegal dumping. Please support this vacation in order to improve
Didn't
the
we do
public
this one
health
already?
and safety.
Wasn't this before us before?
It came back with this official letter, so she's asking us to support her.
I agree with her.
Okay, so moved on Ms. Perry's recommendation to the committee. Okay, and we've done item 2. We continue that. Item 3. Again, Ms. Perry is asking us to support the vacation request and that it be allowed to proceed through the process. I agreed with Ms. Perry on that, too.
Okay.
Okay, so Mr. Alarcon concurs with me on that. Item number 4, as you came in, we're continuing that item. Item number 11. Item number 5, I'm sorry. CD 11, that's my area. Yeah, I just saw my 11 and I get excited, of course. CD 11.
Item number 5, city engineer report relative to the vacation of the corner radius at the southwest corner of Alma Real Drive and La Cruz Drive, vacation E1401069.
And we have nobody opposed to it, Mr. Alarcon, so I just want to move forward with it.
Including the Bureau?
Yep, everybody's with us. You okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, so now we're on item number 6.
Why didn't we do that 10 years
Naming an
ago?
intersection, Reverend Dr. Solomon Drake Square. Anybody want to comment on that?
I think that's an outstanding recommendation.
Is so moved. We've moved number 6 and number 7, street closure, CD4, BO8.
Item number 7, city engineer report and resolution relative to extending the closure of La Punta Drive westerly of Quebec Avenue for an additional 18 months.
Does anybody need to comment on this one? Everybody seems to be in sync. Do we have a motion to move forward with it?
I move.
So moved. Done. Thank you. Any other new business? Any other comments from the public? Seeing none, hear none. We are adjourned. Have a great 4th of July weekend. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Alarcon.